Good morning, Gers TV, and it's the day of the big European tie. I've got Gordy this morning, bright and bushy. How's things, pal?
Don't know about that.
Early
Bushy,
morning
mate.
start. How's things, alright?
Good, mate. That's my first ever breakfast show, so bear with me, please.
Aye, it's better that. It's more relaxed atmosphere on this one, basically because nobody's really up to watch us, so don't need to worry about it. Rangers play Leona in Poland tonight. Are you looking forward to the game or are you dreading it? Because I'm 50-50 still.
Well, that's it, mate. That's exactly what I was going to say. You never dreaded Rangers game. You've always got a bit of excitement watching the Rangers, obviously, and it's great that we're in Europe again, and it's great to... We're still at the kind of buzz at the start of a new season, but I've got to be honest, that performance on Friday night did take a lot of wind out of my sails personally when it comes to the new season, because it was just a reminder of how far we're still to go. However, that said, we must play better tonight. So they're not the strongest of opponents, but they're by no means the worst of the opponents. So we need to be at our best. But yeah, I'm always looking forward to a Rangers game. But we might have to look at that at half time. I don't know, but right now, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, they are one thing about them. They are consistent and they are at home. They played one game more than us as well, I believe. My opinion of it is we had a few concerns through the week leading up to today. We needed visas. We needed visas. We needed players. We needed a winger. We needed to sort things out. We've seemed to have got most of the problems seem to be ironed out. And Dragovic may play tonight. The Tower got his visa. He's on his way via London. I've signed the Japanese lad. I've still not got his pronunciation. I was watching the Stuart Hay video and I think he was struggling with it as well. But we're a bit stronger than we were last Friday, that's for sure. But can these guys gel and play together on the first night? I really don't know. However, it'll be an interesting night.
It kind of reminds me of this time last season when we were playing Victoria Pleasant and we signed Antman the day before and we threw him in and he followed the game of his life. And we all... Aye, exactly. You know, we did game of his life, and then we didn't really see him again. To be perfectly honest, now he's away. So, I don't want to use the phrase like this. The defender, I think, is going to be a good defender for us, right? I really do. The winger from Japan, I don't want to use the phrase panic buy because I don't think it's a panic buy as such, but it seems a bit rushed because he was kind of out the left field, quite literally. That's where he plays, but. We weren't really liking him, and then we seem to brought him in. He's only, I was looking at his stats and his transfer market, etc., and he only actually signed for Hanover at the start of the summer.
Aye.
And now he's left them again, so it's a bit of a strange one.
We spoke about it yesterday. Graham Hanna, 2 days ago, spoke about it. It's more a financial deal, that one with Hanover. They knew they would make money back on him. It's quite a wide move.
Yeah, I mean, he's got...
I'll be honest with you, Gordy. I've seen so little about him, apart from the YouTube, that I'll probably just wait until I see him in flesh because I really don't know. He looks fast. And if he's fast and he can pass a ball into the box, that's better than Gisama.
Look, he's got experience and he's played at a decent level. He's got some decent stats. He's scored, I think, something like 9 goals in the last 2 seasons, assisted about a dozen goals maybe in the last 2 seasons. He's been playing in the kind of German Bundesliga B. Which, I mean, that's a better league than the Scottish League, right? There's no 2 ways about it. I don't really care. Apart from Rangers and Celtic, the other clubs, Bundesliga 2 is a far better club, far better league than the Scottish League, taking away the old firms. So, he's probably playing he's got decent stats, and it's not a lot of money we spent on him, I don't think. So, let's give him a chance and see what happens. But yeah, it's good to have other options there.
Yeah. To watch the game tonight, you need to watch it on the Rangers official channel. I've checked it, so I can't see anywhere else showing it. So you'd have to buy it from Rangers, or you'd have to already subscribe. As far as I know you've been checking that out for us.
Yeah, there's no other coverage. It's kind of exclusive to Rangers TV. So, anybody watching the show wants to get the game, you can get a 2-game package. I think it's $16.99 for the 2 games. Or you can get the 1 game for $10.99 tonight. I'm pretty sure the majority of people will probably go for the 1 game. But if you want to go to the Rangers website, go to the Rangers TV section in the Rangers website, it's $10.99 for today's game. And $16.99 for the 2 games.
So before we go any further, if anybody's watching and you haven't already done this, could you please like, share and subscribe to the channel? As a big help, you will notice on the banner below that we have the new website. Everything's new, God, I'll let you put how it's changed and what the features are on the website.
Yeah. Sorry, you kind of broke up a little bit there, but just if you talked about our website, mate,
Yes.
the Gers TV have got a fantastic new website. It's www.gerstv.co.uk. I always think in my head I'm putting an extra W at the start of each thing each time I say that, but it's not. So it's www.gerstv.co.uk. There it is in the ticker at the bottom there. Absolutely fantastic website, brilliant, brand new website. So thanks for everyone helping on that. And there's some fantastic articles on there as well. And if you don't mind, Si, I also plug the Spotify channel now as well.
Yeah.
So Gers TV, we are now back officially on Spotify. We've got some fantastic shows from the last 2 or 3 years on there. We would talk about the history of Rangers and various exciting points in time with Rangers. And for the start of this season, we've also started a brand new feature where we're giving the players, we're discussing the previous match and giving the player ratings. And every month on the live show on a Tuesday, we'll collate the overall ratings and give our player of the month, and then player of the year at the end of at the end of the season as well. So if you haven't already, go onto our Spotify channel, just simply type in the Gers TV, hit follow, and you'll get all our content on there as well now. So fantastic.
Yeah, and the big feature for me that really benefits is a lot of times people talk to us in the pub, the older generation, how do I watch Gers TV? Well, it's quite simple. You just go onto the channel now, www.gerstv.co.uk, and you'll be able to watch live from the website and all our other past podcasts as well. And you can also hit a button that says set reminder, and then you won't forget every week.
Oh, I know.
Modern day technology. The biggest story this week to me has been that Graham Souness has spoken out about recruitment. Now, if we go with rumours, and one of the agents who spoke through the week, the story going about was that Rangers had the chance to get Graham Souness and David Weir to do our scouting for us and behind the scenes. And we chose Thelwell Jr. and Purdy instead. To me, there's a real concern here. You mentioned that we've bought the Japanese boy from the German second division, and we've already bought Naderi from the German second division. But the signings that started at the start of the season are clearly all Derek McInnes signings. It now looks to me like we have two different signings being made here. McInnes signings and the Thelwell Purdy signings. I'm concerned with that and what Graham Souness said. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a very, very good point. Obviously, it was quite surprising to hear Souness come out a couple of days ago now and saying that, but you've made a very, very good point. It's a very, very apt question because recruitment is so important for any club, but in particular Rangers, especially when you get a new manager come in. It's a difficult one in modern football because sometimes you've kind of got two different departments fighting against each other. Sometimes you've got the management team and sometimes you've got the recruitment team that do look at different targets. What should happen is, months before our transfer window starts, the recruitment team, the board, the manager should all sit down and say, right, these are the types of players. So the manager should sit down and say, these are the type of players I want. These are the characteristics I want, the attributes I want. Go and find me these players. What seems to be happening is, for whatever reason, the recruitment team, whether they're told this by the board or not, who knows, but what seems to be happening is the recruitment team are coming back and saying, right, here's players we've identified that will be good for the future, let's go for them. That seems to be the case with a couple of Rangers signings over the last, if you take Shamiti for example. Now, it's the only one. It's disappointing that the one that we didn't actually do this for is the boy Dow for Tromso, who would have been a fantastic signing for us. So it's a strange one. I don't know if McInnes has said to the recruitment team, "Listen, I'm desperate for a winger. Who have you identified last season? Let's just go with the best one."
Maybe, but he spoke it out. He did speak out after the game. I know I've said this a few times in the breakfast show, but I'm going to go back on it. He did speak out after the Friday night game, and he made his feelings clear that he's unhappy, that he needs to get players in quick. Now, to be fair, we have had a few players in over the last week, but I'm not 100% sure they're Derek McInnes type signings. The boy Dragovic from Serbia, seems to be a McInnes signing, I think. But we did identify, we did speak, sorry, got to the second. We did say that we were going to try and target Scottish type players, and a lot of people have contacted the show and asked us, well, if it's Scottish type players, that doesn't look like Scottish type players that came in now. So you are 50-50 there.
Yeah, but then as a Scottish type player that could play on the left hand side, the right hand side for Rangers, that's what we call Rangers quality. The only one I can think of is Ross McCausland off the top of my head, and he's not going to look in. I'm not sure if he's away somewhere this summer or not, but yeah, he's it's yeah. Listen, I'm in favour of buying Scottish players. I'm quite disappointed we didn't go for David Watson for Kilmarnock. To be perfectly honest, when he's out of contract, he was been a great signing for us. He was a development player, but he was a great signing for us. And in the last few years, which you've highlighted on the show a few times, Si, we've all mentioned there are Scottish players that have went away and we've not signed them.
I think we should also, I think we should also identify the fact that we mean Scottish type players. In other words, if you played in the Scottish League before, then and you've been a success, that's similar to a Scottish player. Someone who hits the ground running and understands the merits of the club. For an example, Cammy Devlin, who's Australian, but he's a Scottish type player.
Yeah, McInnes certainly likes that kind of mould, but if you want these, I think if you want these fast, creative players, then sometimes you do have to take a chance.
Yeah, no, I get that. So anyway, back on to tomorrow night. What's your to tonight? I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Oh, doesn't time fly? Are you watching Rangers?
It's, first of all, it's quite important. Somebody put a message up here. I'm going to put it back up again. What you spoke about earlier, Gordy, when you mentioned the fact that if you want to watch the game, if you're going to buy it, you need to buy it. Is it 90 minutes before the game at least? So anybody watching this is wanting to buy the game. Buy it early. Don't jump in the last minute, or you'll end up no catching the game. What's your thoughts on tonight's approach? How are Rangers going to go about it? Do you think we're going to go out for the victory, going to defend, or we're going to do what I think, and we're going to kind of park the bus and not lose the game and try and get a bit of normality back to Rangers?
So, I don't know, to be honest. That's not very good analysis here. I'm going to start with I don't know. Then I'm going to make a couple of guesses.
It's a 7 o'clock in the morning show. It's like that. You'll be full of buzzing.
No, be honest.
As soon as the show finishes, you'll be going, I should have said that.
So there you go. Expert analysis for Gers TV. What you think? I don't know really. The reason why I don't know, right, and I might try and explain this to everyone watching and to you guys as well. The reason why I don't know is because Derek McInnes is not overly experienced when it comes to managing teams in Europe. He's had a few qualifying rounds in the last 4 or 5 years and whatnot, but he's not had the greatest amount of experience on that, and certainly he's not managed a big club like Rangers in Europe. So is he going to go in with the kind of Hearts mentality or the Aberdeen mentality and go, right, let's, as you say, park the bus and shut up shop and try and get back to Ibrox, 0-0 or a very, very narrow margin loss? But I don't think it's a team. I think they're a good team. I really do. But I don't think it's the kind of team that we should have to go in, with the mentality of parking the bus. It's not a name that it strikes fear into you, but it's certainly they are. If you look at the history, they've been the kind of last 16 in the Conference League, and they've been in the group stages the last few years. So they're not a bad team at all. Just to make that clear. But with the fact that we've spent, quite a lot of money, that we brought in quite a few new players, new management team, our aim this year is to win the league. Let's make no bones about it. We should be going out there with the mentality of we can get the result here. To be honest, that said, a draw, even if it's 0-0 with a crap performance, a draw, I would take it right now. So
one result can change the season.
That's what makes me think overall. I don't know, but the longer McInnes goes without a win, the more pressure.
Yeah, I definitely think one result can change the season for us if we could get a really good result in Poland tonight. I'm not that confident we're ready yet. I think the seasons came too early for us. The World Cup certainly didn't help. I noted that Raskin, now let me get this right because I may get it wrong now, but I'm pretty sure Raskin's in the European squad and he's back now. He came back yesterday. So
he's in the squad, yeah.
Could we see Raskin making an appearance tonight? I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, I mean we've got here's this would be quite an important thing to watch tonight, because Now, I'll qualify that statement by saying I could be wrong, right? Which is sometimes I on this show. But if Raskin does play tonight for Rangers, I don't know if he can play for another team in Europe this season, or at least he'll have to wait until the end of the next transfer window to register again. So if he's been registered for our squad and then plays tonight, I don't know if he'll be able to play again for another club. So that could be a pretty big indicator of whether he stays or whether he goes.
So if he's on the bench, Rangers are very comfortable. They don't need to bring him on. They probably wouldn't bring him on. Is that what you're meaning? As long as he's on the bench and he doesn't play.
I believe so. So I probably need to check
No,
this.
I think you're right. I think that could be right. I'm just trying to explain it a wee bit. So it would be he could be on the bench, but as long as he doesn't come on.
Yeah, so it'll be a pretty big indicator of whether he's going to be, as I say, staying or going. Because if he starts the game, then that's him. But so that'll be interesting to watch later on tonight.
I mean, another way to look at that property is that if he starts the game tonight, it could devalue his pricing.
Yeah. There's Brian. Okay, so he can play if he plays in the qualification stages. Okay. Cool. Okay, that's fine. That actually might. So see what Brian's saying there, right? I was just thinking about this with Claudio Braga for Hearts. That might be why Hearts haven't sold Claudio Braga yet, and that's why we haven't signed him yet. We could be holding out for Claudio Braga from Hearts, and Hearts are saying, well, let us get through these qualifiers, see what we do, and then we'll talk to you. So that could be something.
Thanks for that. It's good to get the update on that. I wasn't 100% sure. Because sometimes players are desperately going for their bonus and things like that. But what I was going to say then is the Braga one. I think, now I'm only giving you my opinion here, I've got no knowledge on this, but I think that Raskin's holding everything up. And that break that he took after the World Cup, which he is entitled to, I'm not holding a grudge against him for that, he is entitled to it. But I think that's held Rangers back a wee bit. And if he came back earlier and decided he was going to go and the deal was made, I think we'd have a new player in by now. And that new player should be a match winner, because we need a match winner. We keep saying this. And I think Raskin's held us back with that.
Yeah, I do actually think that Raskin will be away. I think that the noise and the moves and I think the fact we bought so many midfielders as well this season is a big indicator of that.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why we didn't go for Dow. Maybe Dow was supposed to be Raskin's replacement, and there's been a conversation behind the scenes, and Raskin says, "No, I'm happy to stay," and then that's why we haven't went. I can't think of any other reason why we haven't went for this boy Dow, because he's a great player. It was a decent price, and he was happy to move by the sounds of things. So
the only thing I would contradict with that, and it's just an opinion, and it's only an opinion on here, I know nothing about it, I stress, what if that was the case? Surely Rangers would come out with their media and say that Raskin wants to play for his place, Raskin wants to stay for the club, and they would make a big case of it.
yeah, as I say, it's all ifs and buts and maybe none of his no. So yeah, it's a good point to make, and it could be right. I'm just kind of speculating from the other side of the coin as well. So, but I don't think you can rule anything out though, because like if a big, if a major club come in for, even if Raskin says he wants to stay, and then Bayern Munich come in for him in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be off. So, I'm not. I don't think he's good enough quite yet for a team like Bayern Munich. But you know what I mean. The point I'm making. So in football, yeah. So
what I will say is
the fact he's not away yet. The fact he's not away yet is a big thing.
Aye, but what I was meaning by that is there's a possibility the fact he wasn't away yet is because he wasn't back at the club. Maybe they weren't sure. I don't know. I really don't know. But
yeah.
I'll say the worst case scenario with this is that he wants away, the club want him away, and he doesn't go.
Can I just say, and again, this is maybe an unpopular opinion, right? But for the life of me, I can't remember Raskin having more than 1 or 2 really, really great games for Rangers.
I think on his day he's been a good player, but I don't think he's been as consistent as we believed he could be. However, and again, we've not seen it happening yet. But actually, I think he would be a good match point beside Cammy Devlin. But it's not going to happen for long. I think he will be away in the next few weeks, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, even McInnes after Friday night did come out and say, "Look, the squad's going to be." He has exact words where the squad will look a lot different. Didn't say different; he said a lot different. So I imagine that there'll be a few more outgoings as well. Remember, we have kind of flown under the radar, but we've sold. I think is Bajrami officially away now because we've sold.
He's Saudi Arabia, yeah.
Yeah, so we sold Bajrami, Danilo's away, and Antman's away. So that's three attacking players that we've lost out, but not lost out on, but we've lost. Uh, so we are a little bit short when it comes to midfield attack. I don't know if Diomande and even Asgard are the long term options for Rangers. I really don't. But you never know.
I would say, just to answer that, I would say Diomande. I don't think he's good enough to play for Rangers. I don't think he's got enough commitment. Although he's played out of position a lot. Asgard, I think we need to give a bit more credit to now. I've been his biggest critic. I did say this yesterday. I spent a season criticising the guy, and his attitude's been fantastic since he came back. And I think you always have to be fair. If somebody's proved you wrong, then so be it. And so far, attitude and application-wise, I would say that Asgard has ticked the box. And a big thing that we always speak about, Gordy, on the channel, he's made it clear that he wants to play for the Glasgow Rangers. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a couple of good points. I know it's a bit childish to say, but I always find it mad when I hear Asgard speak. He's got this amazing Scouse accent. He wouldn't. Not there's anything wrong with it or good with it. It's just the point. You wouldn't associate that with. So Brian Murphy's making the point that he ran his contract down at the last club, and the same with the performances. If we get a decent offer for the same way anyway at Rangers, I mean, if we get a decent offer for Sumiti, I would take it. If we get a decent offer for Raskin, I would take it. If we can make a big profit, and then I think somebody like Raskin, if he goes to a kind of mid-level Premiership club, I think it's really important to get a buy-on clause and our percentage sell-on.
After that World Cup performance, I would agree with you. I would also say that if I'm a big Fernandes fan, but after Friday night, I was really pissed off, mate. Really pissed off. I think Derek McInnes would sell him if there was a good offer for Fernandes, although he's young and we know he's got ability. I don't think he's the type of player that we're trying to put the swearing in the show, right? I can't stop it sometimes. The fanning about Fernandes fannies about far too much, and I don't think that McInnes wants that type of player. And I certainly wouldn't want it, because that goal we lost on Friday night was criminal. Do you ever get that way? The more you watch it, the worse the goal gets.
Oh, mate, I was actually going to go on and say something similar. It's only when you watch it back several times you realise how bad it is. And if you look at the Hearts team last season, Derek McInnes had Craig Halkett and Stuart Finlay at the back, who are your traditional. Somebody said in the show last night, we did comment about what's happened to these kind of old stoppers, these kind of old Richard Gere type players, if you remember the comment. And I'm not saying that somebody like Stuart Finlay or Craig Halkett could lace the boots of somebody like Richard Gere for 1 second. However, I believe that that's a kind of centre back that Derek McInnes likes, older, fashioned, as you said at the start of the show, Scottish game, know the Scottish game, and the kind of Scottish game mould character wise as well. So I think that's the kind of defenders that Derek McInnes wants. You can see that in the signing from the Tower.
Yeah, I think, let me contradict myself here though. I think that the signing of Ben Godfrey was maybe a signing that he's an older head and a more experienced player who could settle a player like Fernandes, but he's now injured. And let's be clear on this: Fernandes is fanning about cannot happen in European football. We simply are not good enough to be able to compensate for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you get punished in the Scottish game, then you get it'd be double in whoever we play in Europe, because and if you look back against the game against Dundee United didn't really create a lot from themselves. It was more the chances they got was from our poor play or our poor passing.
Yep. I don't think McInnes will tolerate that kind of attitude, to be honest, no matter how much wages you're on. I wouldn't like to think so, because ultimately his job's on the line if Rangers don't win this title.
Yeah, and the board, the big money is in Europe. I know from our point of view, I say this every season, I think, from a prestige point of view, for the supporters, the league's the bread and butter, and we made a good league campaign to win the league title and to get to the finals in the cup. But the board are looking for return on investment, and that's what you get for European football. So I've got absolutely no doubt that the board have said, listen, the two priorities this season are the league title and Europe. and because that's where the money is. And I actually believe that's what Gerard's remit was as well, because that's where the money is. And it's horrible to say because we want obviously the league's the kind of the bread and butter for us, but the board will have one eye in Europe and say, listen, we can get 10, 11, 12 million. If we can get 20 million this season for Europe, then that's a big thing. So it's important for us to get a result, and what a chance we've got to get through to the I keep saying the group stage, but it's the league phase, isn't it? So what a chance we've got to get through to the league phase.
As much as I think the title's so important this season, I agree with you, mate. It's a very slippery slope to go down if you start seasons thinking that we don't want to be in Europe. It's a burden. Once you start that, you become small club mentality. I think Rangers always have to think big. Sorry, I've got a hay fever here, mate. I'm going to sneeze. Let you carry on for a second.
That's okay. No, you're right. But it's all about ambition, and it's all about making a marker as well. And certainly with the money Rangers spend on transfer fees and wages in the squad we've got, we should have enough in us to challenge. I'm not saying challenging Europe, but there certainly should be an element of
make it mark.
I would say getting in Europe after Christmas, getting to the last kind of 16, the last qualifying for any league phase and then qualifying out of the league phase, whether it's for the playoff to get into the last 16 or whatnot. That should be Rangers' standard ambition every season, right?
Yeah, I think you have to go for your best.
If you go further, great, that's fine, but we have to have that ambition, and that's something that McInnes has to step up to, because he's maybe not had those demands before, and he's got a learning curve as well, but he's got the mentality to adapt to it. It's just that there's no hiding place when it comes to Rangers, as we all know. So he didn't get a performance against Dundee United. I mean, that's the thing. It's mad to think, but McInnes could already be under pressure after tonight, and it's crazy. But that's just the life of an old manager.
The one advantage he's got is he knows that he's not going to be sitting going, I didn't expect to be under pressure. He knows he needs to win. He knows the expectations. I think he's as angry as we are and as disappointed as we are. And he wants to win. And he wants to be successful with Rangers as much as we do. So I do think he's feeling it. You just have to trust the process for this one. However, I've got to say I am concerned at the way that the start of the season's been, and I'm concerned at the two different types of signings, because I just think they contradict each other. But I hope I'm wrong with that. But Graham Souness coming out of the blue and speaking, I know he was asked about it, and then Gerard mentioning it as well in an interview. It does tell me that there's things that people, because these guys all talk, we know that, they all talk. There's definitely people behind the scenes that aren't happy with the process. But we know one thing, Gordy, results can change that. If Rangers start winning, fans stop to be so concerned, and podcasts chat less about that and more about the performances.
Yeah, and I think that at football clubs these days, there's the managers. So I think what sometimes happens at football clubs, especially in this day and age where managers chop and change, managers might have a short-term vision for recruitment, whereas the recruitment team might be given a kind of more longer-term vision by the board and the directors. So you've got to find a happy balance. You've got to find a happy medium in that. I mean, look at Rangers the last 5 years. We've got 8 managers. It's simply incredible.
That needs to stop that.
Yeah. So it's really, really hard to have a long-term recruitment strategy at a club when you've got a revolving door of managers. So there will be what I would call legacy signings, where the recruitment team have got maybe a short list of players that they could come in. So it's up to McInnes to stay at Rangers for the long term and make his mark and get the signings he wants. But I do believe there's an element of recruitment team are driving their own bus as well sometimes, as you said.
And I would also further that with what you said there, Gordy. I would say it's important for Rangers Football Club that McInnes can stay for a long time, because that's what we need, stability. But to have stability, he has to have 100% faith in his background team. And I'm a big believer, when we say the background team, the whole setup at the club, McInnes should be comfortable with. And I know that's something that Jim Gillespie's looking at just now. At every element in the club just now, he's looking at having people who want to be at Rangers and who are comfortable working for the club. I think it's massive. I think we need a full change behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm just looking up various transfer rumours, and I might not get the pronunciation just right at 7:30 in the morning, but we have been linked with Kohab Durauch for PSV Eindhoven.
Seen
Druyek.
that.
I could be saying that improperly, if I'm apologies to him and all the fans out there. So PSV Eindhoven. Camilo Mina for Lechia Gdansk. James Penrice is still on the list, even though I believe he's signing for somebody else. And a Coventry City winger called Genoa as well. So that's the latest rumours. But I think at this stage of the season, clubs like Rangers would always link with dozens of players. So until something's a bit more concrete, you never know.
I think there'll be at least 3 players still to come in before the transfer window, but we can speak about it another time, mate. I'm always going to try and keep the breakfast show to half an hour and a wee bit longer, but not much. Big Mark, I'm always talking for Scotland the other day there. I'm going to finish off with yourself, mate. I'll let you finish us up. Your first breakfast show. How do you think the result will go tonight, and what do you think Rangers will? What do you think the score will be?
1-0 Rangers. I don't think it'll be a great performance. I think the players are still gelling, and there's still a bit of a lack of cohesion in the team. But I'm going to go 1-0 Rangers.
Yeah, I think it's another. I think Rangers should be able to overcome it, but I don't think it's going to be a great game. We're still relatively new, but I hope you're right. I hope we get a win. And just a wee reminder, if you're watching us tonight, this morning, you can watch us now on www.gerstv.co.uk. On all our lives, you don't have to go onto social media anymore. It's been a good week so far in the breakfast show, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Gordy, I'll see you later on, mate, and we'll maybe get a wee chance if we've got enough time to do a pre-match. But I don't know if we're going to have enough time for that, but we'll try. And we're going to chat later on, pal.
A lot of pressure. We'll see, hopefully. See you later, mate. Great to be on the breakfast show. I'm going to get my eggs and bacon now. See you all later.
Strong coffee. That'll probably give me the skittles. See you later on.
What a note to finish the stage.